Hello everybody, how's it going today? It is now February the 20th. It is a Tuesday, around 11 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we're going to talk about Bitcoin. I think that we really need to start bringing it on, don't you guys think? I think we really need to bring it on. Like, brr, it's cold in here. There must be some bears in the atmosphere. I said, brr, it's cold in here. There must be some bears in the atmosphere. If you guys didn't get that, we need to bring it on. Hey guys, I'm back. So I just had to pause for a minute there after I sang and get some water. So here's a quick live trade. As you guys know, I've been playing some pretty big position sizes, but now I've decided to reduce my margin account to a very realistic amount that where I'm more comfortable to play. So I just thought I'd start off with a quick little live trade here before we get started. And the reason why I've entered a trade is because I count 5 official waves, okay? I count 5 official waves coming down here. 1, 2, 3. And I think that this is basically 4 somewhere, or 4 could have been right here as well. This could have been just a massive ABC type correction. And this is the 5th one down here, which actually reached exactly pretty much to my target there. If you guys notice, my target was the trendline support, first of all, with Fibonacci extension, slightly lower than there. So it works out really well. This one hit about a 1-to-1 extension, and this one hit a little bit lower than that. Now we're uptrending just a little bit. Don't get me wrong, we're not uptrending a lot. This is a lesson video, not a TA video, and I'm explaining to you guys why I went into a trade, because I feel that it has bottomed out right there at the channel support, and I will be targeting a very, very simple amount, probably around 11K right there. So I just want to go over that very quickly with you guys. And yeah, we're going to go over a lot of different lessons here. And I'm going to show you guys how to play this as well, and also what to take a look at, okay? So before we get started on here, I would appreciate an upvote on Steam It. Make sure you guys also like, subscribe, and share the material on YouTube and on Twitter as well. So here, I'm in a $15,000 position. Excuse me, maybe 17,000, I can't do the math. 16K, around there. 1.5 Bitcoin, that's all that really matters. And right now, whatever I do the math in my head, right? So 74 minus 14 there is 60, multiplied by 1.5, I'm up $90 right now. So I always like to start off with a little bit of a live trade, at least, just to give you guys a taste that the proof is actually in the pudding, and it's not just a big joke, right, the way I'm playing. So we'll finish up this live trade very quickly first, and see how far it actually gets. I'm probably going to close it at 10,903 for a quick like $150 or so, or maybe not even. But the point is, I want to give you guys a taste of what I actually do, right? And to make sure that you guys understand that I'm not just, you know, I'm not just giving you guys some random calls and just making up magic on the fly, right? So, did you guys ever watch that movie Bring It On? Anybody in my generation? I'm 33. Everybody thinks I'm like some 21-year-old, 22-year-old kid, right? Maybe it's because of my really ridiculous sense of humor that's really immature, guys. You need to make sure that you stay as a professional trader and stay at home in a suit and a tie, okay? There will be no sitting at home in your underwear while trading. That's right, I'm not sitting in my underwear, Philicon, okay? I'm actually butt naked right now, just to let you know. So I'm just going to close my position here because I don't want to play it anymore. 8073, let's just see. Whoops, I'm not going to sell it for 108,000, okay? Just so you guys know, we're not really near yet right there. So let's just try going to 88, 85 over here. Let's see if someone will actually spike up the price here. Oh, there we go. I feel the confidence already rising. So it's okay, like when you see a lot of green, you kind of get the idea. This is called a level 2, by the way. The level 2 shows all of the orders here, and also it shows the bids. These are the people that are bidding to purchase. These are the people that are selling, right? Or entering a short position, whatever. Either way, they're selling. And whenever we see demand right here, we always think of it from the perspective of demand and supply and demand, right? And what we see is a guy with 14 count there, with probably a lot of his friends that are stacking up right now. So it makes a lot of sense for me to just keep managing my position. So we don't ever just keep a strict price, guys. We manage our positions by moving. Okay, if you guys don't know, on bitfinex, if you have a limit up, you can move it up and down to however you like, okay? And the only reason we're not moving up right now is because there's a little bit of a resistance right here, okay? This guy's got a resistance here, which will probably be broken very soon. We see the count just slowly diminishing. There we go. We're at 880 now. We're ticking up. 883, 884. This guy is really driving up the price at 880. See. Oh, he removed his count there. Okay. He removed his count because he feels that the momentum is now going up, or his group of friends have already accumulated as much as they wanted to already. So this is the next wall, obviously, right? And just based on how everything's going, we can see that this is most likely the same guy. He's boxing it in right now, trying to get people. Now watch this wall try to get shattered. 93, 96.63, 97, right? 98, 97, 97, 95. Okay, just keep watching, guys. 95. These guys are going to try to drive up the price and spike it right there. So am I in a good position at 924? Absolutely, I'm right there. So I'll make about $150 on this trade. I could go a little bit higher and targets there, but I'm honestly just too lazy to do it. So now we see these guys driving up the wall a lot. Okay, think of this side, excuse me, think of this side as people who are creating a tidal wave, right? They're creating a tidal wave to try to push it over to the other side. And then think of this over here as the side that shows the supply, or the demand rather. The demand right now, what color is it? It's all green, right? So we get a general market sentiment that they want to push up this price right now. We go check the RSI, the 1 minute chart. It's looking great. It's about to fan out right here as well, right? It's already fanned out on the 55 EMA strategy that I use. And most likely we're going to end up targeting at least 972, I'm guessing. So it makes sense for me to just keep moving up my prices. See, now this one's at 61, right? It's at 61. It's being chipped away slowly. The next wall is this guy right there with about 33 bitcoins. See, people are still chipping. This guy's got the hidden walls up there. It's not really moving it too much right now. So let's see what happens here. Are we going to actually break into some a little bit short-term bullish is what I would call it? Let's have a look right here together, guys. So 81, 91. It's not really driving up as much as I would like, so I'm just going to close my position here, and I'm going to start off with showing you guys how to play a lot of these different positions today. Okay, it'll drive up. I'm pretty confident of it, but you know, if it keeps going green like that, I might actually just move up my order, right? It all depends. When you guys hear the do, that's where you know that my limit positions are going to get filled. 891, right? There's a 4 count there. There's only 8 bitcoins until it gets to me. People buy in very small amounts. See. Very small amount. Now it's 9.37, 9.6. So some people are actually joining the party. There's about 10 there right now. Ooh, that was a big slam. That was a big slam on the market right there, okay? Some people definitely took some profit. I could have taken some profit higher up, but I didn't. And that's really okay as well. I do believe that we are in a slight uptrend right now, though, just based on everything that's going on. This might even correct to a very low point, but not really too low, I don't think, okay? Maybe to about 836 at the 836 range right there. Let's see if this guy can actually drive up the price to spike it a little bit more. He's not really letting it drop. See, a lot of buyers are rushing in. I know I talk really fast, guys, okay? But there's a lot that goes on through my mind while trading. We're talking a ridiculous amount, right? This wall right there at the 898 with 73 or 77 count, it simply couldn't get shattered. So the price ended up dropping a little bit, right? If you take 0.2%, which is the maximum fee that unfortunately bitfinex doesn't reflect my fee on here, 0.2 of 15K is about, how much is that? $30, right? So I'm actually $30 up more than what this reflects right now, which is like 90 or something. So it's a really, really quick trade. I'll show you guys the trade that I entered right here and when. That's basically when. These are some of the trades that I entered. I played some very small positions after I closed my bigger ones there, just 1, 2, 3 bitcoins total. I entered this trade at about 22, so about an hour ago actually. An hour ago I entered it around, you know, 787-ish, right? I was just buying from 825. That's where I bought my first Bitcoin, 825, and I added more, and I kept stacking more and more and more. I'm only letting myself play a very specific amount now. Okay, are we still buying? Nope, people are not buying. They're actually selling right here. Let's just go to 874. I'm done. I don't feel it right now, okay? It's not really being driven up as much as I would like to. Like it to be driven up rather. But what we do see is an ascending triangle, right? So sometimes I change my mind very quickly because I do see an ascending triangle that's forming right now, and it looks like it eventually wants to break it, right? So yeah, sure, we might correct a tiny bit, but we got to ask ourselves, is it just going to end up breaking eventually? So should I take my profit now, or should I just wait? And the answer is probably to wait a little bit, okay? Usually in this case, you'd probably want to wait just a tiny bit because there is a lot of people that are rushing in to buy it. And this is forming a very, very nice pattern, right? So just something like that perhaps, okay? So because it's forming a nice pattern like that, I could have definitely taken profit, could have made myself $100 already, but we want to get a bigger profit sometimes, right? Ascending triangles being formed right there. We're probably going to find our size support, I'm guessing, right about here. Yeah, right around here, I'm guessing. It's only going to tick down a little bit. The 5-minute chart is actually pretty high already. We're not really reaching RSI support yet on the 5-minute. The RSI support is probably right around there, and we want to see if we can actually break this right here. So let's just be a little bit patient. I'll come back to it in a few minutes. So before we get started, I want to talk to you guys about how to play this particular part down over here and just do a quick review. So how would you guys have played this? Well, this one here, when you guys were shorting it, right? I called this exact top, pretty much, right? Well, not that one. I think I called it earlier. I can't remember. Let me find it. I called it at 1250, right? Or 11250. Where was that one right there? Right, this one right there, yeah. Okay, this is a good one right here to showcase how to play it. So if you guys take a look now, I didn't close it, right? Now we're spiking back up. If you guys notice, we're still attempting to break above this 55 EMA, or we're staying above the 55 EMA. Not only that, it is an absolutely ascending triangle there, so it's not really down ticking at all. So it would have been very prudent of me to, or not prudent, but what's the word? Impatient of me, or too early, right? I should not have closed it early, and I made the right choice because some people would have panicked and they would have been like, oh geez, $830, it's really falling down right now. But of course that's not the case, that we still see an ascending triangle. So I'm right above here at about 906, and I believe it's going to get there, and I'll keep you guys up to date. So let's go over some Elliott wave theory. Excuse me, my throat's still a little bit sore here. Let me have a sip of my, nope, I don't have water. I'll get some water later. So right here, guys, how you would have shorted there, right? That's where I called the top at around $11,250, and this formed basically resistance right here, or a channel that eventually broke. And as soon as it broke this channel, right, you could have shorted it. And how would you have played the earlier one? Well, you take your Elliott wave fib extension, right? So you could have shorted it down there, and you do an Elliott wave extension just like this right here. Now, a lot of people may not have caught this top, okay? They wouldn't have caught that top, and because they didn't catch that top, what ends up happening is they look for this key area right here to short. If you guys don't know what shorting is, what shorting refers to is you're borrowing from the exchange, right? So people like myself or other people who would want to invest in funding. What funding is you put your money there and you get an interest per day gained. Where does the money come from? Well, it comes from the people that are trading from their margin account. In their margin account, the money has to come from somewhere if they want to leverage. So if they leverage, they're borrowing basically from people like myself who are contributing to the funding account, okay? So now, when you short, what you're doing is you're betting against the market. You're betting that it will go down. So let's say you short at one Bitcoin at $10,000, right? And you have the intention to buy back cheaper because you believe that the market will go down. So if you're shorting at $10,000, and let's say you bought back at $9,000, well, you got to pay back the one Bitcoin that you borrowed to, for example, myself, who's contributing to your funding account, right? This is all behind the scenes that I'm talking about. And then you pay back the one Bitcoin that you buy at $9,000, but because you originally bought it at $10,000, then you're actually keeping the $1,000 difference. Does that make sense? That is how funding works, and that is how margin account works for shorting. Excuse me, I'm always so embarrassed to do that. So now what people will do is they'll miss this right here, okay? They will miss this downtrend unless you're very much so keeping an eye on it. Now, after you miss the downtrend, you keep an eye out for this specific region right here. And you say to yourself, okay, well, if it breaks below that, I'm going to short it. So boom, you're now entered into a short because it got a lower low right here, right? It's actually breaking through it. Automatically entered into a short position with maybe a stop sell for margin trading. And then you take your Fibonacci extension tool starting from here, and for here as well. And you say to yourself, I'm going to target a wave 3 at 1 to 1. And then to the next wave, I'm going to target a 161.8. Boom, that's what happens. So in order to use Fibonacci extension, you got to know your Elliott waves very well. So if you're using Elliott waves, you know that there's going to be 5 waves coming down like that, right? And that's how you play that, guys. That's how you play it. And then what's your risk to reward? Your risk to reward is you short from right there. You set your stop slightly above here. Honestly, it's almost like a guaranteed win. I hate to say that, but your risk is like nothing at all. It's like literally non-existent in my eyes because I'm so familiar with how the market works when it comes to these types of patterns, okay? And then you'd simply just target 1-to-1, or you can target the 161.8, and guess what? It hit it with precision, and you would have been up $600 or 6%. If you played 1 Bitcoin, right, you would have been up 6%. Let's say if it was $10,000, you would have been up $600. If you played, you know, two Bitcoins at 20K, for example, you would have made yourself $1,200. So remember this, guys, what I'm saying, all right, about how you short on the breakout. Now, some people, they will actually take profit right here, okay? Let's just draw a box that represents profit. Okay, let's say you drew a box that represented profit right here, right? So you would have taken a profit, oh, not right there actually. You would have taken a profit represented by this specific box. I don't know why I can't move this. That's so weird. Okay, there you go, right there. So here you would have profited 3.82%, right? Now let's also draw a box that represents this entire area. If you were to have shorted like that, okay, you would have targeted right there, and you would have made yourself 6.1%, we'll say, okay? 6.1%. See, I'm just going to follow up with my position for you guys. It's now upticking, right? It bounced right there. Like I mentioned, it's an ascending triangle, and it's definitely going to break out into one of these prices. I'm just going to put mine like a 935 or something right there. I'm pretty optimistic that it's going to bounce up, so I'm up like 60, 70 bucks. So now, let's say you adopted the exact same strategy, okay? Or not the exact same strategy, but now let's add some more things into here. Now that you've confirmed based on Elliott wave that it's now a downtrend, what you would do is take your Fibonacci tool, right? And you would target somewhere between, for example, right here, right? I'm adding more advanced stuff to here, okay? More advanced stuff. So you take your Fibonacci tool, and you know that this is only a wave 4 retracement. You use your wave 1 retracement right here as your hard support, okay? This becomes a very hard support area. And now that it becomes a hard support, you say, okay, wave 4 is obviously going to dead cat bounce, which means a 382 level with little volume, or it can bounce up to the 0.5 region, or it can bounce somewhere up there. So you're going to enter another short position to go up there. And then what you would also do is you would still target the 161.8. So let's say you entered like even a 382 region right there. You would have made yourself 4.5%, right? Now let's do the math here. What is bigger? The first one, riding it all the way to the bottom, or the second one right there where I stack up the representation of the price? Well, here you're looking at 3.94 and about 5, right? So 4 plus 5%, 4 plus 4.5% is 8.5%. Interesting, right? Very interesting indeed. So here you would have actually made yourself a lot more money if you were to ladder like that. Not only would you have made more money, but you also would have minimized your risk and your exposure in the marketplace. So you got to really think about things like this as well. Now, another way you could have played this one as well is, let's say you close your position right here to minimize risk, okay? What you would do is you would wait for this breakout below right here. It's a very, very small one, okay? Super small gain, but I'm just giving you guys as many different case scenarios as I possibly can. So let's say you entered on a breakout right here, set your stop loss right there, and also targeted 161.8 right here. So if I drew a little box that represented the price, right here to right about here, well, and I stacked it on top of each other, just like that, they're actually the same price as well, right? It's about the same price, this box right here. So what I'm saying is there's many different ways to play, guys. There's not only one way to play. So now, keeping all of this in mind, okay, there's so many different ways to play. Now, this was from a few days back. And the reason I wanted to go over it a few days back is because, guys, it's no different than where we are right now, actually, at all, okay? There's absolutely no difference from what I see here, and I'm going to go over it with you guys in a lot of detail here. So downtrend, how would we have played this? Well, if you want to get really advanced, you'd want to, of course, draw your Elliott waves from the beginning, right? And this is how I've been counting it. I always focus on the past so I can make sure that I understand what the future can do based on Elliott wave counts. So now I knew that this was basically a fifth wave about. I was indecisive about my count at first, but of course after we broke some key numbers, I was fairly bearish, right? It broke some key numbers, I was bearish, seemed to make a lot of sense to me as well. So yeah. Hold on, I'm just checking my position here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Oh, sorry, I'm just kind of talking to myself. I'm seeing if it'll actually break down or not. See, I'll keep you guys up to date too. This ascending triangle is actually losing volume right here, and there's a chance for it to break down right here. And I don't really know if it's going to break down. It hasn't really reached any reasonable fib level yet, right? And it looks fairly bearish on this candle right here without volume, and not many people are actually buying it up. So the worst case scenario is that I end up breaking even or take a tiny loss. But that's okay. My risk is completely under control. For this situation here, I knew that I was going to enter around there. I could have taken profit many times already, right? So for in this particular case, my risk to reward is pretty decent, right? I'm going to set my stop loss super tight, very low. We're talking like a tiny loss right here, like a 0.32%, you know, like $100 at most to me. And I'll most likely end up targeting like 382 or something like that for even a 262 range. Or sorry, 286 or a 382 Fibonacci range. And here we see that it actually breaks down, right? So I'm not really a fan of this right now, and we're gonna evaluate further in just a sec. So now in regards to my position here, right, it didn't actually make the ascending triangle really that I wanted to break out really above it heavily. So now I keep drawing my patterns, right, and I say to myself, okay, could this actually make a descending triangle, or is it just going to break down below it, right? So I'm about down $100 something right now, maybe going to be more than that, but that's okay. I'm willing to take this loss. I know exactly where I stand with this situation that I'm in. So we're going to see, is this going to make a descending triangle? Is it just going to pop through right here? Are we going to break through? What is going on, right? So I want to show you guys how I manage my positions and how I rationalize whether to take a loss or not, okay? So right now, right, I'm at 156.993. I'm down a little bit right now. I should have obviously taken my profit earlier, but now I realize, okay, well, this is most likely making a type of correction like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's probably a fifth wave down there. Now this can overlap fine, guys. It's a freaking leverage market, okay? You guys are always going to say, oh, wave 4 and 1 territory overlap. Okay, you guys keep sticking to that rule and lose more money. Okay, no problem at all. You guys really need to get that theory out of your head and read a lot more books before you guys try to call me out on that, okay? It's probably a pet peeve of mine, where people would keep saying like, oh, wave 4 and 1 territory can't overlap. It's like, is that the only rule that you guys know? Like, come on. So now I'm going to count it like this. 1, 2, right? This is 3, this is 4, and there's a fifth one in here, just like that. That seems to make a lot of sense to me in there. And we're going to just draw some lines like this, right? So this is going to rationalize whether I should take our loss or not. And this is a perfect way of rationalizing it. Yes, you stick to your stop losses, but you ask yourself, well, is there a fifth wave somewhere coming down there? So this is now my support, right? This is now my support zone. I'm going to actually draw it a little bit better here. See, this is definitely my support that we can see here. Just like that. You guys have to be able to make sure that you can manage your positions by doing a lot of critical thinking skills to see if you have a chance to break even. Stop losses are only stop losses, guys. Okay, they're not set in stone. You got to remember that. You guys will never see me have a stop loss in here, for example. You'll never see me actually have a stop loss in the books because I'll always manage my positions differently. I will manage my position by doing it manual. I don't really have to put a stop loss in there. Like, you know, you guys can get squeezed out very easily. So that's kind of the difference between a more experienced trader, I would say, and someone who always has a stop loss in the books, put it that way. Think of stop losses as something like mental as well, right? So that's something that's got to be considered. So now we see that we're not quite at the support zone yet, actually, okay? Not quite there yet. We're definitely going to be there very soon, in my opinion, when we get about 5 waves coming down. We're not quite at 5 waves yet here. Let's go to an even lower time frame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And yeah, we're almost there, guys. Like pretty much right where this is. Maybe 10,600 or so. Okay, I'm showing you guys how to manage a position here. And then you have to be able to do this as well after. You take your Fibonacci tool, and now you say to yourself, okay, where could it possibly bounce up to? Where? So if I take my Fibonacci tool right here, and if this was the bottom on the trendline resistance, well, even if it did bounce to a dead cat bounce level, right, even worse than a dead cat bounce level, like right around here, say, you know, I could still easily sell it at 10,894 or 1164, depending on where it gets to. And you guys will see exactly what I mean. So right now, I'm sure I'm in a position where I'm $146 down, but we have to acknowledge that all 5 Elliott wave counts are almost done right now already, okay? It's definitely done already, and we're definitely starting to bullishly diverge a little bit, and buyers are starting to rush in as well right now. Despite us downticking here, I do believe that we will eventually end up upticking, right? So we're probably going to get to around $10,636, right? And then even if it got a tiny bit lower, even right here, I'm taking the most extreme case of the trend line, it's got to bounce a little bit before it starts making its way down again. So this is the best way to count it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't worry about the overlap, guys. And then we get 1, 2, 3, 4, and looking for a 5th wave coming down here right now. And 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe there's one more coming down. So how would you guys have played this, okay? Well, if you do it from a very advanced way, like I was talking about with Elliott Wave, which I'm sure a lot of you guys know it now, right? So that's Elliott Wave basically from here. What I was mentioning earlier was that this is possibly an ending 5th wave diagonal. That's possibly forming just like that, right? An ending 5th wave diagonal is a bearish pattern. And what the bearish pattern does is this, okay? It's called a bullish, a bearish rise. I'm calling it wrong. It's called a rising bearish wedge, also known as a 5th wave ending diagonal, okay? Now, 5th wave ending diagonal always gets counted like this. Sometimes the wave 3 is actually the shortest, and sometimes the wave 4 can overlap. There are many rules as well for the ending 5th wave diagonal, which is no problem at all to me. So at the end of the squeeze, right, what ends up happening is it actually ends up breaking down. It breaks down heavily. And if we can confirm that it has broken down, then we know that it's actually the 5th subwave. So right here, I called out the 1750, I called out around 1750, right, to short it. 11,750, well, not the short, but that's where I called the top, and that's where you would have entered a short position. Now, how do we break it down further, okay? Just like the other video, the lesson video as well, we are going to take our Fibonacci extension tool, okay? Fibonacci extension tool, and check that out, guys. It also hits an exact one-to-one extension right here. Look, right there, an exact one-to-one extension. So if you guys entered a short, you would have targeted there if you knew that it was an ending 5th wave diagonal and you shorted at around 11,750. If you didn't do that and you missed it, no problem. You set your trend line support right there, and as soon as it breaks down, you guys do the exact same thing. You enter into strength on a short position right there. So you set your stop loss slightly higher. It's pretty much guaranteed, like I mentioned, guys. Like if you know your Elliott waves and you know how corrective patterns work within Elliott waves, it's really hard to lose money, guys. It's almost like you increase the probability of you winning by like 10-fold, and it increases by 10-fold because you just know how to count your Elliott waves. So then you entered a short position there, and then you would have targeted one-to-one at least, right? Or you could have targeted the 1618, but sometimes in this case it hasn't quite hit it, right? Wave 3 we assume is always the longest and never the shortest, and because it is always the longest and never the shortest, we assume that it is longer than wave 1. That's why we target at least a one-to-one, and if you guys did that, you would have made yourselves about 3.5% there, right? And if you went a little bit lower to the 1618 level, you wouldn't have even hit it. Not even close to it, right? So it's up to you guys after the 5th wave where to take profit. I usually don't play the 5th wave coming down too much, right? Because there's not really a lot of potential. And fifth waves can also be very, very, very unpredictable, which I don't really like. And because they're super predictable, I tend to just take a step back and I play the third wave to the fourth wave about, and I'm good after that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this could be it right here as well, where the uptrend actually starts. Let me show you guys, okay? People are buying in really large amounts right now, okay? This guy's bought 8. So sometimes what can happen as well is we get an Elliott wave that comes down like this, right? This goes like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, where it creates basically like a flat pattern, right? An ending, I forgot the exact name for it, but it's like an ending flat that makes 5 waves, right? At the end of here, where it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this makes 1, 2, 3, 4, and this actually all makes 5 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this all makes 5, if that makes sense to you guys. Like this, okay? So then we get 5 waves coming down. Check that out, okay? Do you guys see what I mean? 1, 2, 3, 4, and within the 5th wave, there's actually 5 waves that makes a flat. So you guys are seeing me rationalize through everything, right? Now it's actually spiking up here. So would it have been the best choice for me to close my position? No, it wouldn't have been the best choice. The best choice would have been to rationalize what is going on to see if you should, based on probability, if there's a chance of it going down or not. So stop losses are very important to me, guys. I will not even joke about stop losses for a moment, okay? It's one of the most important things that I exercise because I firmly believe in risk management, right? And because I firmly believe in risk management, what I will always do is try to stick to my stop losses, but most of the time I will usually add more to a position, believe it or not, depending on my bias for that specific time. And my bias for this specific moment is not bearish. And because it is not bearish, I've got no reason to close my position. In fact, because I've already been burned once, I could have closed it, twice I could have closed it, right? I could have closed it many times. Actually, let's go to the 1 minute chart here. I could have closed it, you know, like all around here, right? I entered there on the breakout. I could have closed it anywhere up there. And because I've already been burned a few times, it makes sense for me to not really go through this emotional investment and just set my target for right around here where the resistance is. But if there's a spike, I might end up not doing that as well, right? So let's see if this holds true. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And it actually does end up going upwards. Let's take a look together here and see what will actually happen. Are we gaining any strength right now? Yeah, we're gaining strength. Take a look at this. Definitely we're gaining strength. We're getting a series of a higher high right here, okay? A higher high on the 15-minute chart RSI. No problem at all. What about the 5-minute chart? Are we gaining any strength? Yeah, we're getting a series of higher highs, or sorry, higher lows is what I mean to say. There's a bearish divergence right there. Here's another bearish divergence as well right here, right? Here we just spiked up a little bit, see? So now I'm just trying to rationalize it. Lots of buyers are rushing in, guys. It makes no sense for me to close my position right now at all. Here's the first RSI support region. Here's the second one. I gotta turn on my drawing tools, staying in drawing mode. So here, for example, is the next support region. Here's the next, sorry, I mean resistance, right? So we got to make note of this always. There we go. We're spiking up now. I'm already positive. Okay, it's actually looking really good. This is how you manage your position, guys. You constantly do technical analysis on the fly, right? So when you guys think about it, right, was it really worth it for me to close my position? You guys have to be able to know the difference with when to close a position and when not to close a position. I could have taken a $150 loss earlier, but I didn't because I believed that it was going to make that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pattern here. And then now we will actually end up getting a slight uptrend to where we maybe right there, 954, even to 1100 right now. So let's see where this actually plays out, okay? Let's just see for a moment where this actually plays out, and I'll get back to that in just a few moments. But we can see this little channel that's building up right here as well, right? And I don't see any other waves that are coming down. So this is a pretty ideal scenario for me to be in right now, where this right here is creating, right? It is creating like a descending kind of triangle right now, But let's see if it's actually going to hold. Let's just really look at it to see if it's going to hold or not, or if it's actually going to make a series of higher lows and higher highs now. And I know I'm on the 1 minute chart, and a lot of people say it might not even make sense to look on a 1 minute chart, but I can evaluate things on a very micro level here, okay? So I personally don't mind at all. Some people, they might got some issues with it, but me, nah, I'm cool. So now we're really testing this channel support, right? Really testing it, guys. I know it's gonna break, but I don't think it's gonna break before bouncing slightly first, right? I think it's gonna bounce definitely very slightly. And until then, makes no reason for me to close my position yet. Maybe if it breaks the channel, I'll consider closing it. But right now, because I'm still very bullish bias for the very short term, I need to talk about it. Super short term. That's why prices are, people are getting very interested in it right now. The orders are starting to stack up. Less people are starting to sell as well. So I do believe that this is indeed 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is the all 5. And within the 5th wave, it makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a flat type of corrective pattern. These happen so often, guys. It happens an unbelievable amount. See, a guy just decided to scare the market there by driving up the price to create artificial demand. He created artificial demand by dropping a 22 count there. Usually there are bots that do it. Usually it's like a group of people that are working in a group together and over a chat. But now I'm actually positive, not a lot, but still positive. So just to be very clear again, right? Right here, for example, right here, you would have targeted a 1-to-1 extension, right, on the breakout there, and you would have been in a trade for about 3% there. So if you played a $10,000 position, for example, you would have been up $300. If you actually played it around up there, which if you catch the ending 5th wave diagonal, right, you would be up quite a significant amount actually. Today you would have been up about 8%. So I played some very big positions today, guys. And you know what? Don't ever see it as bragging. If you guys see it as bragging, that's not good, okay? Don't ever see it as bragging, because I don't brag. It's not like that. It's more so me leading by example, guys, okay? You guys need to understand that I'm definitely trying to lead by example, and I am not here in any way at all to brag or to show off. Okay, I'm not like that. I just want you guys to understand that I'm leading by example, and you guys need to see the proof in the pudding, because if it's not there, how can you trust me, right? So let's go back to over here. People are actually buying a lot now, right? Now the price is spiked up. I'm at 87.6 right there. People are really buying actually. The question is, will it actually break this, right? Will it actually break it? We're all the way at 856 now. I'm already profitable. I entered this trade, what time, guys? At, not that one, at 22, right? At 10:22 or something like that. Just very recently, okay? To my time, 10:22. So I've been in the trade for about an hour and 30 minutes or something. But then again, I've been planning a lot as well, right? I've been planning, I've been talking on Twitter. I could have taken profits so early. Whatever, it's all good, right? So it's really okay. I really don't mind in the least. And then this one here was my last few trades were pretty awesome, I have to admit. Like this one here, I shorted it from 52, closed it at 106 right here, okay? I bought some I shorted more right here at 1100, and then I closed my position at about $100 less. This is just in the past like 2 hours, right? And it doesn't even show here all the big ones that I played earlier from down over here. So all that you guys see is the one from 743, which is like, 743. I closed my big position like around over there already. 743 or 1943 rather. Yeah, around here. So it's way far back. Anyways, so let's see where we're at now. We're at 1836. We spiked up to 61 already, but it just couldn't get higher than that. It's finding a lot of resistance right now. On the 1 minute chart, we finally crossed over to the 55 EMA right now. So that's a pretty decent sign, right? But, what I'm saying to myself is I've had so many opportunities to close my position, but I'm not. What if this actually ends up down ticking, right? So I'm getting a little bit scared of that. But I think a lot of the computers will actually kick in when they see this 55 EMA start to cross over here as well, okay? Oh, my dog's up. I'll be back in a moment. Give me a sec. So not every single trade is going to be like, big, gigantic bucks. But as long as you manage these positions of yours and you understand the risk involved and you know when to take profit and when to minimize your risk especially, you can be very, very profitable. So now we're wondering, is this 55 EMA actually going to cross over and go on an uptrend? It tried to break below the 55 EMA, but it simply could not, right? So now we're in this flat pattern and we keep asking, is this actually the fifth wave right here? Is that the beginning of it? And we're going to start a tiny little correction upwards, because that's all that I'm hoping for, guys. A tiny, tiny little correction upwards, right? Looks like these guys are trying to break it, but they just simply could not. And you guys know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take my profit next time it spikes up like that, because I don't want to take the chance of missing out on it, right? So I missed out on there already. I missed out on here already. I think it's time for me to actually just take the profit when I definitely can. And if you guys have noticed, I don't really look on the candles too much, right? I'm more so focused way over here. And because I'm focused way over here, this is called the level 2 book. What I would really recommend that you guys do is definitely watch a lot of the level 2 order books. The level 2 order book can definitely help you make some immense profits once you start to learn how to make it, right? So today I've been playing a lot of different positions, big and small, and the profits can really add up. And that's what I'm trying to say, is that if you play a lot of positions, like what I do rather, I'm not recommending it in any way. I'm saying what I do is I take a lot of different positions throughout the day. And the reasons I like to do that is because, well, first of all, I get the volume, right? The volume. Every time you make a $10,000 trade, you buy it, that's $10,000 of volume. Every time you sell $10,000, that's another $10,000, right? If you get your volume to a reasonable amount, then you actually get your fees reduced. My volume is pretty substantial, as you guys can tell, and it's substantial, so I get a very reduced fee. It gets to the point where it's actually at 0% right now, because anything over $7.5 million traded a month is you actually get a 0% fee. So I always make it a habit to take up my fees on the take a limit order as the maker rather than the taker, right? So let's just go take a look at BTC longs and shorts right now. If you actually look at BTC shorts, they're actually it's going up, right? If you look at BTC long, it's actually steady, quite steady right now. So shorts are definitely increasing a little bit. We can't really break above all these counts right here, which is kind of sad right now, okay? It's really, really sad that we're not really breaking into any type of more bullish territories, or any bullish territories. So now I'm just sitting here wondering, like, is it actually going to break? Is it going to break down? What is going on? We do see like a descending triangle, right? Take a look, guys. We do see like a descending triangle right here that just simply cannot break. Okay? Do you guys see what I'm talking about? It's kind of like a descending triangle, right? Kind of. It's more like sloped. It's more like edging towards a breakout to the upside, right? So now I keep looking at my MACD and my other indicators as well, and I say to myself, okay, what are the indicators looking like? Well, this one here looks like it's kind of going up a little bit, right? Kind of going up, it's bullishly diverging. It looks like it wants to spike up, but then I ask myself, is this just a bearish flag, right? A bearish flag on the R side that wants to poke down? Are people still buying right here? Nah, not really a lot of people buying at all right now. So I'm trying to give you guys a taste of how people manage their positions. And that's something that's really important to understand, right? You guys got to see it live, proof in the pudding for how people do it. And whether I win this trade or not, it doesn't matter. At least I'm narrating you guys through my thought process and what is going on right now. And we can't really break into any territories right now, guys. People are selling, right? A lot of people are actually selling right now. So now it leads me to wonder, what is going on, right? Are we actually going to break into here? But I confirm right here, right? This is on the 1 hour chart, which just formed. We get a bullish spinning top. A bullish spinning top is actually a very bullish candle. So are we going to be able to spike up just a little bit here and break out? So that's going to lead me to wonder as well right now. Am I right with my count where this is going to give us a series of a higher high? So now we're just going to keep waiting on it there. So let's get back to this over here while we wait on this pattern to form, okay guys? So right here, what I would recommend doing is, of course, to short it on the breakout right here. If you get to short it on the breakout right here, awesome. You're going to make yourself some pretty nice profit, right? So if you short it actually at the ending diagonal right over here, and it came down, you would have made yourself a nice 8% profit. If you targeted the 161.8, you could have gone for almost that much, but it didn't quite reach that much, right? So that's why I'm saying the wave 5 is really difficult to play. And that's kind of how you could have played this, guys. There were so many opportunities to play this right here. If you look on like a higher time frame, right, it doesn't really break the rule with the wick. This is wave 1, 2, 3, 4. The wick just pretty much pokes out of it, and that's kind of it. That's kind of it. Just that's how the wick ended up poking out of it, and then you could have shorted right around the wave 1 territory as well. And surely enough, we ended up downtrending instead, right? So you could have added more to your position right here maybe, or you could have just tried to enter into a short position if you missed the bottom and this wave 3 there. You could have entered into a short position right there, set it slightly higher than the wave 1 territory, and you could have gone for at least this bottom right here, or even slightly lower near the 161.8, but not quite. So let's get back to this trade, guys. Someone just spiked up the price quite a bit. There's a big wall right there, right? Someone spiked it up to like the 20s. Let's take a look at this closer now that we've talked about how to play that. Now you guys gotta really understand, okay? It's really important that you guys understand how these positions are managed. So now I'm going to take my Fibonacci retracement tool, right, just like this, and I'm going to say to myself, oh, okay, well, this one retraced a pretty decent amount right there to about the 0.5, and we're getting a lot of resistance and support there, rather. It's kind of like a cluster right now, right, of things going on. So I might just even lower it right now, hope that someone spikes it a little bit, and maybe someone will close my position, and I break even rather than take a loss. Because I don't want to take a $62 loss. Do you guys want to take a loss? Nah, you don't, right? So we're just going to chill here. We're just going to wait. We're going to see if this actually levels out, how far it comes down. I'm going to wait for a histogram tick to the positive side. When I'm talking about a tick, I'm talking about see if it goes upwards like this, okay? Or if it's going to go downwards, just like how we see right there. It fakes upwards and then comes back down. So let's just wait to see in a few minutes how this is actually going to look, and if I could actually profit from here or not. I'll be back when there's more of an update actually. Okay guys, give me a minute or two. Alright, I am back guys. Let's check it out. So we're finally uptaking. It's been about 5 minutes. I've been just listening to a podcast, you know. I've been listening to a podcast. Johnny Crypto really had my back in Digital Lawrence's podcast. If you guys haven't heard it, go check it out. This right here, okay? Digital Lawrence, he had a podcast, and you guys know Alt1 Crypto, which you should probably follow. He's a really cool guy. He's also another Asian, and his TA is pretty cool. And they were just actually talking about the negativity. I haven't really listened to all of it, but just some of it. They were talking about the negativity in the cryptocurrency community, and I just want to thank Johnny there for having my back, you know, saying he wanted to. A lot of people target me, if you guys haven't noticed by now, right? They target me because I'm definitely stealing business, quote unquote, from a lot of people who are charging for content, right? And because of that, I'm not really too popular in the cryptocurrency community amongst the older generation of people who have had very long time followings, right? For Twitter and stuff like that. Because a lot of people rely on newbies to come into the market. And these newbies don't know who to follow. They're like, oh, this guy's got 100,000 followers. I'm definitely going to follow him, right? So, so because of that, a lot of newbies get suckered into thinking these guys are like God, you know, or something. Sorry for using that analogy, but they think they're like God-like status, using an analogy from a game, okay? So don't be offended by that, I apologize. You know, these guys are accumulating their coins already, and then they'll be like, yep, this is a good coin to buy. Then all the newbies will buy it, and then all these veterans will also charge them for courses on top of that as well. So what I'm doing is basically providing a lot of free stuff, which is just killing it right now, right? It is just destroying it, guys. All the people that are veterans out there are really out to get me right now, and I'm really glad to have people like Johnny who's backing me up, and I really appreciate that a lot. I have a lot of support in the community, put it that way. The people who are not money hungry, they've got my... Whoa! Did you guys see that right there? You guys see that right there? You guys see that? Tell me you guys saw that right there, okay? This is so worth watching right now. Come on, come on, come on. Limit order adjust! Oh my god, did it adjust on time? Did you guys see that spike? Did you guys see that spike? Oh, what a nice little surprise ending, right? I just want to get out of this position, guys, to be quite honest. See, did you guys see that? How my TA is like, you know, working out right here. I need to get out of this position because I'm getting to, oh my god! They spiked up the price! Whoa! You guys see that? That is called TA, baby. That is called TA at its finest right there. Now let's see if these guys actually dump. I'm just gonna take my profit now. I made the right choice, right? I'm gonna just go to like 902 or something like that, and then let's see how much money I'm gonna make. I'm gonna be right there in a few seconds. Boom. Actually, I can probably go up a little bit higher, but nah, I'm not greedy. There we go, guys. There we go. That is how you guys make $131 in about an hour, we can say, okay? So I just want to give you guys a taste of how you can manage your position by following through with it step by step, okay? Now, this was a very hard $131 to make, all right? But if you guys notice, it could have been a $131 loss as well, right? So this is a really, really, really good video, guys, for you guys to review and to watch on your own time there, because I rationalize everything out, right? And here you guys go. Perfect trade. It was a very good trade. Let me take my $131 profit right here in front of you guys, and boom, I'm now up $8,000 today. Bam, shakalaka. Have a good day, guys. If you guys love this material that I'm providing, please upvote it on Steam It. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and share all this stuff as well. So take care now. Bye.